Hi guys, I'm Asif Ali and you're watching CGHOW video. Today I created this stylized water effect in UE5 Niagara. And let's start this tutorial from scratch. And if you haven't subscribed my YouTube channel yet, please subscribe it. If you like this tutorial, like, share and comment. So let me remind you one more thing again. So here on the YouTube channel CGHOW community, I have this post. If you want my Patreon subscription per month, you can vote here. If you want per post subscription, you can vote down here. And I have already 47 votes, and you can see per post subscription have 68%. And here on Twitter also my handle is CJ underscore. I have the same post, and here again you can see 80% per post subscription. But on Patreon I have the same post, but here 9 people wants per month subscription, only one guy want per post subscription. So I'll take the average of these 3 posts by 1st June, and I'll implement that on here. So you should just vote here. So thanks for supporting on Patreon if you are already. So let's start this tutorial. First of all, subscribe my YouTube channel and also click on bell icon so you will receive all new video notification. So I found this reference on Pinterest. I'll put the link in description. So this is stylized water, and let's create this today. So I'll just stop this video. So first we need this part, this base, and let's create a label first. I'll open this, and then I'll take a exponential height fall, and then blue color, maybe a little darker. Okay, so we have this, and then we need a material like that. So M and water. Okay, and I'll create an instance to check, then we will apply that in Niagara. So here, like if you'll see, this noise is coming out, then we have these rings that are merging with this noise very properly. So, and let's make this masked, unlit and two-sided. Then you can use a mesh that have a UV like that, but if you want to work on sprite, you can do that also. So I'll take a texture, I'll take aura, this one, then vector to radial and connect this here. I'll take a panel and negative minus 0.3, and there's a seam that you can just fix it by using clever. And then we have this, and we need tiling, so I'll take a multiplier here and then take the append, and then I'll make 2 parameters, x and y for tiling, and let's put the default value 1 for each. Okay, so we have this. Then we will need a ring. So for ring we can take lots of things actually, but I'll take a radial. Let's take a radial, and to make a ring out of this you can use this last linear distance UVs here. And if I'll preview this, we have a ring, and with density we can decrease, we can make it faded. So this is density. Let's make it parameter also, density, and default value is 0.5. Then I'll make a radius also, radius, connect this here. Then I will add these together. Okay, and after adding this I will use a power node, not power node now, I'll use actually smoothstep. And first, if you'll see how it looks after adding. So we don't have a radius. Let's make it 0.5. So we have that white part here, and that is very faded. You can increase the density, maybe 1. And then we can use the smooth step and make just minimum and maximum parameter. So this is my minimum and then max. And just check in the instance material. So I'll just hit save. And here we have the instance. Take a planar. Every value is set, just the minimum maximum we have to tweak. So you can see they have started merging, and with the tiling we can make it like this. And then density you can increase a little bit if you want, like this much, and you'll see these are already merging like we have here. And then you can just use that in opacity mask and just take a white color here. Although we will take the particle color, so just connect it here and take a multiplier here. Just call it mult for now and default value 1, and just connect it to opacity mask. Save it again. And because this is now mask, you can see these are sharp cutting edge, and with this minimum maximum value you can play with it. And then we have this density to make that line, and we can animate that radius in the particle. So we can increase or decrease, or we can also, like, yeah, we can increase and decrease this radius, but I think we can do something else here instead of this. That will be very convenient, and that will be actually, I'll take a texture coordinate and subtract 0.5 so it will come to the center, and then I'll take the length, oh sorry, length connected here. And if I'll show you, because it has two output, it's not visualizing anything, so I will visualize the vector 2. We will have a ring, and then we can use the sign. And if I preview the sign and actually use 1, and then you can use power node. Okay, and here if you, I think if you pan one axis, like if you actually pan, okay, because actually I will not use pan. Instead that I will do something else, and that will be very easy thing. Just take a time, add it here before the sign. See, we have rings that animating, and you can just invert the time so it will come outside. So we have ring, we can use the power for the ring thickness, and this is the multiplier for ring sharpness. So instead of this, let's use this here, and let's call it density and remove this. And set the default value minimum maximum. This is 0.6 and 0.8. So this is 0.8, this is 0.6. Let's save this. So you have this thing, and with the density you can make that thinner. Okay, and let's make this little slower. So I will just multiply it and call a parameter speed. Save this. And now we have that speed, we can make it. Oh, sorry, you need to multiply actually. Now this is low, and you can almost stop it, and then you can check your settings. And then actually this should be little faded, so you can do, actually I will divide this and parameter fade ring, save this. Why is giving you issue? Now with this, yeah, you can have this, so you can make it thick or you can make like this. And with the minimum maximum value you can also adjust. You can even increase this to maybe 10, 6, 10. Cool. And one more thing you can do, you can use this texture one more time, copy and paste it here, and use the different panning speed. So like this is 0.3, let's say minus 0.15, half of this, and then add these together. So we will have two texture with different speed. Save it. So there will be slightly different motion, you can see. Okay, and we can make this speed like this. And what else is there? That is just cutting here. So you can just take, if I visualize this, let's invert this actually, and then visualize this. You will have a center ring, and you can use the power. If I make it like 10, and then you can add this here before smooth step, and let's make it a parameter outer. This is your outer part. Let's default value use 10 and save it. Actually, you don't need to invert it. Can directly connect it here. Not here. Actually, you can multiply it. You can actually multiply this. And yeah, you will need invert here. Yeah, so we have this, and let's make the speed again 0.5 slower, and yeah, this is very sharp. Actually, this is very sharp, so you can do lots of things. You can distort the UVs if you want, and you can use the blends. Here we have some blends, so I'll show you which blend is perfect for you. Actually, you can do one thing here, that is, if you take the radial exponent for, sorry, radial exponential gradient, this is a radial, And if you add something in the UVs like this noise texture, it will distort that completely. But you can use a multiplier to control that, and you can make a parameter distort. So 0 means nothing and 0.1 means there is some distortion. And then you can use this here instead of this. So you don't need this whole thing, you can just remove that. And if I just hit save, and here with this distortion parameter, but this is going to the left. And if you want distortion from the center to the each every side, I have already tutorial to understand it better. You can search it here, radial distortion, and you will find this tutorial, distort in all direction. You will see this text, this logo is distorting in all directions. So 24 minutes just about this topic if you want to learn. But here I'll do that quickly. So I have this multiply which is for x and y both, and both are going in positive or negative value. But I want from the center positive up, negative down, positive right, negative left. So for that you can take a texture coordinate, subtract 0.5. So if you will preview that, you have 0 in the center, sorry, 0.5. You will have 0 in the center, but then you have negative value and positive value also. Then you can take the mask for the x and for the y, and then take the append and connect, not connect directly, you have the distort. So you need to multiply x with this and then connect it here, then y with this and then connect it here and then connect it here. Okay, so this is what is in that video. You can just hit save and see here. If I now use distortion, we have distortion in all direction. It is not now not sharp cutting edge. Okay, and let me just, so we got that thing. And see if one thing more I need actually here after these two textures, I need a power node and then connect it here. And here I will make a parameter exponential. Default value I'll use 2 and just save. So now with that value, if I make it 1, these are very thick noise. If I increasing it, it's just making them. So now I'll make some parameters that I'll use in particle. First is dynamic parameter for this ring speed. So this will be my ring speed. And then we have this panel here. So again, we need a, sorry, time and multiply and then connect it here. And this will be my noise speed. Nothing else. I'll just use these two settings and these default setting from my instance. So you can also use that X styling and Y. Yeah, you can also use Y, but keep in mind X is 5, Y is 1 for default. So we have these X and Y, so I'll just call it X and Y. Sorry, Y, and that's it. Just hit save again. So now this instance material we can use in particles. So let's create the FX fountain FX, and in this sprite use this instance and use the custom alignment, custom facing vector. And I don't need velocity, I don't need this either. And use the align and align on the z-axis. So make it 0 here and 1 here. Then I'll make the size like 100 for now. And this material should be two-sided. So you can do that here in instance. It is two-sided already. Okay. So let's make a dynamic parameter. Default tiling 5 and 1, and default speed let's make it 1 and 1, and spawn rate is too high, let's use 5 maybe. And then you can randomize these things. So like ring speed is 1, you can make it like 0.5 and 1. And same thing you can copy paste here, so it will be also random. Then this is 5 and this is 1. I will randomize this to maybe 0.6 to 1.2. And there is random rotation also here. And that looks little slower. I'll make it 1 and this thing ring maybe little slower. Okay, and make it local. Hit save and drag it here into the viewport. And there's a jitter something, so you can just use this. And also there should be a parameter to dissolve it all, because if I just use one particle spawn rate, you will see that is just not working. So what you can do here, after all the things, actually you can use this multiplier, but you can also use a power node here to dissolve. And let's make a dynamic parameter one more time, make it 1 and call it dissolve and connect this here. Hit save. And now here, turn this on. Default value is 0. Let's make it 1. And if I increase this, you can see I can dissolve it at 500. It's taking too much value, but it's okay. You can use a curve and you can use the last value 500. And I don't want this to go like this. And then you can spawn like 5 particles. And initially this value should not be 0. Should not be 1 actually. It should be like 2. And I think that has some issue. You can do one more thing. You can just use this multiplier. So for dissolve, I will use this. I will move this. Because when I'll decrease the opacity because of the mass, it will dissolve it anyway. So this value will now go 1 to 0. You can also use this. So it will start with fade, end with fade. And I think spawn rate is too high. And in the instance, I will increase this value maximum, decrease. Yeah, now you can see that ring properly, but this will, I'll decrease. Cool. And I'll increase a little bit, 1.5 maybe. Yeah, cool. Why it's behaving like that? Okay, I got it. Actually, what is happening, this is a weird working. What I want actually, let it be here. And we had this expo. So we just need to dissolve our noise. And now this value will go now from 1 to maybe 10. Now it looks smoother. But why? Okay, so I use this, and this should be like, this should be like 1, and this should be like 10, 10, not 10, maybe 5 and 5. And actually, I'll use this curve, and initially it will be like 2, and then it will be 10. And I can also, I think, use right size. This is very weird. Let's delete this and take just the burst, and I'll make this 5 so we can exactly see what is happening. I don't need this sprite size. Yeah, got it. So I got it, and it took long to get it. What the issue is, the time. Okay, so because time is just keep going on and on. So what you can do, you can use that value here. And here, because we are animating the y value and negative. So what you can do, you can take a add value and then append value. And in the x, I'll put the 0. And in y, I will use that value, my dynamic parameter, this noise speed. And this will come here, and this will go there. So I'm just deleting these nodes. So now I have a manual control. I can do anything with that in particles. So that was silly problem I faced, and it took me time to figure it out. So we have this noise speeds, and I'll just reset this value. And if you'll see this ring speed, this is here, it is 0.3, and here it is minus 0.2. So you can just make it curve from 0.3 to minus 0.2. So it will go like this at once. And then we have this noise speed. You can just make it negative, and you can use a curve, and just from 0, maybe minus 1. That's enough. And see, these are now fading. With this curve. Not this curve. I'll shift it even 0.8. This will dissolve at the end, or maybe 0.7. So if I just use the spawn rate, like 10 or anything. So this is coming in one frame. So here in dynamic parameter, we need two keys. So at point 2, this will be 1.5, but at 0, it will be 5 or maybe 10. Still slight issue, but we can fix that. But it is better than before. And you can randomize the life, maybe 2 and 1. Actually, 1 is very fast, 2 and 3. And spore rate maybe 3. This is too much, maybe 2. And in here, and it is very, so in here, in these value will be like 2 or maybe 3. And that ring value here, I'll make it 2. Yeah, now it's better. So this is now better, and we can create our other stuff. So it has this one beam which has the blue and white thing. That is very easy to create. So because most of the time took this element, it is still have some issue that I'll fix later. So let's create one more material. This is water stream, and we need a cylinder. I'll visualize this, and we need actually same textures. Copy and paste here, and this will be unlit, two-sided, and particle color, and then this thing will add on my particle color, and this will be white, of course. And then because particle color also white, and if you want to visualize, let's say you have a blue color, so now this is your blue color, and you can here use actually multiply and floor, and if you multiply it like 5, it will be very sharp like this. Then you can use tiling, so you and append, and let's check the panning direction first. So if I put here 0.5, it's going up, so negative y it is okay. So you need to add and again take the pen and multiply. So this add is for offset and this multiply is for tiling, and we have two appends, and I'll take the dynamic parameter, and here we just need y, so in x I'll put that, and this will be my x tiling, y tiling, and this will be my pen, and that's it. You can use it here and hit save, and I'll browse this, and in FX I'll duplicate this, and in this one we need a cylinder, and in the cylinder we need that material, and let's make the color like this, dark blue, And in dynamic parameter, we set this all. Tiling, let's say 1 and 1. And this is panning. We will use that later. First, we need to adjust this. Maybe this much is enough, and you can make it like negative. Actually, you need to make it curve, and this should go from 0 to like -1, -5, and you can -3, and you can just use spawn burst and make it loop once and life infinite. So there will be one thing, and now curve is not working because life is infinite. Yeah, no, it's working. Yeah, it should. My mistake. And you can increase the height, maybe 3, and then you can make it 2. It is stopping at some time. So what you can do, you can in pen, you can multiply it with delta time, and it should work. Now you can make it negative, and you don't need curve, and you can make it like -2, more speed, and then 2, and tiling 1. Then we need something here. This can be little longer. There should be something, and I'll make it like 3. So I need one more thing, and that is these flashes, and these are on. Maybe you can use sphere. So let's say you have this M stream. I'll duplicate it. Control D. M splash. And let's use the sphere and see how it looks here. Let it compile. Let it preview. Okay, let's use it again here so you can check. So this is how it is, and I want it to dissolve from the top. So what you can do is you can take a texture coordinate, mask, and green channel. Okay, then use power. You can add these together. And actually subtract some value, maybe 0.5, 0.1. And we need also mask, and also multiply this with opacity. So this is dissolving from here. So this can work. And how it looks white, and white looks white. So you can do here, you can take a power node. Those have slightly blue color, then edges are white. Let's remove these for now, and you can take the three color blend. Okay, so red should be transparent, so that will be 0. Then we have green and blue. That blue should be particle color. And we can subtract some value more. We can use the cheap contrast. Yeah. So we have that blue part that should be particle color, and that green should be white. So I'll just make it 1, and see, this is what we have. So what I'll do, this will be removed, and instead of this we will use particle color, and also these two will multiply with the opacity, and then here. So if I check it here, yeah, this is what we need, and we have already panning speed. So let's save this. I'll browse this material, and here I will duplicate this, and we will change the material, oh sorry, mass to a sphere like this, and we'll use that material. So you can see how it looks. So first of all, this panning speed should be positive. It should go up. And then tiling, that's one. Tiling we can use random. So we can make it 1 and 2. Same copy paste on the Y. And white is transparent from bottom also, but it should not have. So I will increase the opacity. Still the bottom is transparent, but here if you preview, bottom is white, so you can actually, this should not happen in particles. I'm increasing alpha. Okay, so let's say you have now a spawning rate, maybe 10, and you have this loopable, and you have some life, maybe 1 and 2. And then I want this the pivot in the bottom. So here in the mesh, we have this pivot offset. We can offset it. So you can see the pivot is now here because it is scaling from here. And then we can use scale mesh, make it float, and then make it curve. We can use offset a little more. And also we can use a sphere location, or maybe you can use actually use this location, and then you can use disk. So little offset, and then color should be like this blue. And these are very big and this radius is very high. Let's make it 10. And in initial size, this is 3, 3 and 5. I'll make it non-uniform. Let's make it 2. Still very big in front of my all other emitter. And I'll make the alpha maybe 5 or 1. And still very big. So in the scale, you can make it 0.2. And then you can make the location maybe 5. Okay. And this thing maybe 0.5. And spawn rate maybe 20. And the life maybe 0.5. So you will have splashes like this. And we can actually increase this color a little saturated, and so that cheap contrast we can make actually we can make the parameter. So in dynamic parameter, I'll make this last parameter contrast, save it, and now here in dynamic parameter I make it 1.1.5. So you can randomize it from 1 to maybe 5. 1 to 5. So there will be much difference. This thing. So we have this thing till now. And actually here we have this white here, and I will make this thing also particle color but slightly desaturated. So what I'll do, I'll take the desaturate and use the particle here, and let's say 0.5 value. So whatever I have the in particle color, it will take the half of that saturation and put it here in the B. Let's save this again. Now check it here. I'll use 1, 2, 3 maybe. Maybe 0.5. And I think height is too much, so I'll use maybe 1 to 0.5 or maybe 1.5. Yeah. And this beam is very straight, so what you can do in this beam, actually you can slightly add jitter, so it will slightly move like this, not much, 0.2 I think, 0.2 is maybe 0.1. Yeah, better. And one more thing you can do, you can open the material of this, take the vertex color, vertex normal, multiply the same noise you have here, then multiply it again, connect it to what position offset. In dynamic parameter, use that parameter WPO, save. So now in here, in the dynamic parameter, if you increase this, you can see the difference, and you can make it also negative if you want. So what you can do, you can spawn like 5 particles and you can randomize this from -1 to maybe 5. You can randomize it from -1 to 5. Now you have something like water. And that noise texture is, you can randomize this also. So the tiling. So this is 2. I can use it my point 2, point 1.5 to 2.5. And here you can use 8.8 to 1.2. So every particle will have different. And also in the jitter, you can randomize it. So some particle will have like no jitter, some particle will have 0.3 jitter. So it will look more like water, but 0.3 is too much, 0.15. Yeah. So it is more like a stylized water. So you can add lots of other thing here, like you can duplicate this, Control C and V, and instead of this mesh, you can use sprite and just take the translucent material like this and then make it white. Increase the alpha maybe 100 so it will be very sharper because we are making translucent. And then I'll use just a ring and I'll use the velocity, cone velocity. Let's use 100 and directions of busy and size maybe 10 and 1. And then we can use the gravity. Spawn rate maybe 100 and velocity maybe like this. And you can randomize it, so maybe 200 to 500. And then life 1, so and size maybe 5.5, ton of the mass. And see, it is too much everything. So first this should be like 1 and then velocity maybe, and actually this angle I will increase, then velocity maybe 100 to 100 and gravity I'll decrease, and size should be like 1 and 0.1, and I'll make it actually GPU and increase particle a little bit, maybe 1000, and velocity even random, and then gravity. Actually you can just use 200 maybe slightly just to give it like it has some particles spawning there. And velocity actually still I think it is too much. Let's decrease this and increase the angle. Yeah, and now you can increase I think spawn rate, and particles are falling down, you can see there, and that I don't want, so you can just take the kill in volume and take the planar. So if they will go beyond the 0, they will die. So you have this stylized effect now, and you can also take the post here. You can work something out, like first to focus this on the effect, you can use that. Then we can use like these. One more thing I think I will do. That would be, let me try, maybe I'll delete that. So this first emitter I'll copy paste here, and I'll make the size half, maybe 50 and 30 maybe, and make this life very fast, and spawn rate maybe 10. So you can see now there's something noisy. That looks better. So this is it. This is my final output for now. Thanks for watching it. Keep learning. Bye bye. And one more thing actually before bye, because we have jitter here, these are just keep going and they have now some distance that I don't want. So in these beams, because life is infinite and they have just spawned once and they have jitter position that keep moving them away. So you can use spring and say them to come to the original position. So convert it to the position, then link the initial position, make it 5 0. So now if you'll increase the jitter also, like maybe 0.3, they will move, but they will again come back to the original position like this. So that's it. So now this is the final. So thanks for watching it. Keep learning and bye bye.